بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته نبضي داوديال ميل كستو أتشوكتان قصو دواد برنامج كوبانا نكويقي دونوم dhaqdhaqaaqyada ictiraaf raadinta Somaliland oo muddooyinkii ugu dambeeyay isa soo taraya isla markaana wufuud kala duwan ay dalka ku soo qulqulayaan haddaba waxaynu dib u milicsan doonaa dhaqdhaqaaqyadan iyo waqtiga ay soo bilowdeen iyo sida ay Somaliland beesha caalamka ugu soo qulqulayeen sanadihii la soo dhaafay haddaba marka intaasi laga yimaado sanadkii 2005 ee talada dalka ayay madaxweyne Daahir Riyaala Khan ayaa waxa dalka yimid 14 xildhibaan oo Cusub ee Baarlamaanka UK kuwaasi oo ahaa kuwii ugu balaanaa ee Cusub ee beesha caalamka wafdigaasi balaaran ayaa waxa horkacayay marwo Dr. Aadan Ismaaciil oo markaasi ahayd wasiirka arrimaha dibadda ee dalka Jamhuuriyadda Somaliland waxaana si weyn u soo dhaweeyay Allah u naxariistay Sheekh Ibrahim Sheekh Yuusuf Sheekh Madar gudoomiyaha golaha guurtida iyo Allah u naxariistay Ahmed Maxamed Aadan Qaybi gudoomiyaha golaha wakiilada xilligaasi xildhibaan Cabdiqaadir Maxamed Xasan indho iyo xubno kamid ah mudanayaasha guurtida iyo golaha wakiilada waxaana wafdigana balaaran halkaasi gusiyay warbixino iyo xiriirka qotada dheer ee ka dhaxeeya Somaliland iyo boqortooyada Ingiriiska Sheekh Ibrahim Sheekh Yuusuf Sheekh Madar gudoomiyaha golaha guurtida iyo Ahmed Maxamed Aadan Qaybi gudoomiyaha golaha wakiilada ee waqtigaasi haddaba ku soo dhawaada qaybta koobaad ee barnaamijka taxanaha oo nu ka eegi doono dhaqdhaqaaqa ictiraaf raadinta Somaliland iyo waayihii iyo marxaladihii kala duwan ee soo maray
إننا بلادين مدنياش وحنا مانتا على الاحترام كينو نكتير وأنا مسلمان وأنا بيجسن إنت مدنياش وأنا كلام خبراوية وأنا بقول وين قلبي وين أحسن أو فرن كلوين هذا هو كيف
يا ترجماني
أنا ترجمان. The Sheikh started his speech with the name of Allah, and he is welcoming the respected guests to this combined House of Representatives and House of Courts. I hope you have already noticed the feeling, good feeling that the Somalilanders people have for the British delegation and the British people in general, especially when you were at the airport. We have decided to declare ourselves independent and reclaim our independence when the old Somali Republic, Somali Democratic Republic was destroyed in 1991. It's now 13 years since that day. We expected our old British colonial powers in the meantime to help us to promote our cause and to engage in development activities in this country. We had no experience of an external power, an external world community power that could assist our cause except Britain, and we expected something, but we didn't get up to now. But we are glad that in recent years we have seen a lot of British delegations and an injection into some funds in developments, and this is a positive step that we appreciate.
Somalia
It's unfortunate that a lot of the international community wants us to get engaged in the quagmire of the Somali situation in former Italian Somalia. For 14 or 13 years, there were so many international conferences at different places to resolve the disputes, and nothing has come up to now. And up to this day, the battles and the wars between people in the south, in Somalia, former Somalia, we have claimed a state, and we have established all the institutions that constitute statehood, like the government, the different sectors of the government, like the parliament and judiciary, the army, the police, and all other institutions that all governments enjoy. We have achieved all this with our own initiatives, with our own resources. We are now at this very good result. As a result of these activities and this endeavor we have made, we have achieved all these things that you see with your eyes. To make my speech shorter, we want you to get engaged in assisting us in all aspects, like seeking recognition for our country and in development activities, and even trying to advise us on how we can manipulate international support for our cause. We are very hopeful that you will do so today. Thank you very much. The Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ahmed Hamid Tayyip. This session is a joint session of the two chamber houses, the House of Representatives and the House of Elders. I have to speak in Somali because a lot of the MPs around here do not speak English, and we will seek the service of an interpreter. I was Secretary General for the then Prime Minister of the first Somaliland state, and I have served that government for a long time as a secretary.
Baarlamaanka ingiriiska ayaa la igu diray waxaan noqday clerk of the legislature of parliament saas ay qaadeen marka ingiriiska la igu diray inaan training ku soo qaato parliamentary procedure.
When the British were preparing Somaliland for independence, I was sent to the UK to get trained for the administrative affairs, and I was in the British Parliament. I went there to actually to attend there and acquire that experience.
markii dambana sharciga toddobaatankii ilaa 80kii safiir baa Soomaaliya uga noqday Ingiriiska.
I was also a British, a Somali Republic ambassador to Britain between 1975 and 1980.
ilaa maantana waa kana waa joogaa waxaan ahay
And today I am the Speaker of the House of Representatives of Somaliland.
marka ilaa waqtiga ingiriiska aan uga shaqayn jiray ilaa markaan xorada qaadnay ilaa maanta yani taariikhda ingiriiska iyo Somaliland udhexaysa waa la socday.
I was aware of the relationship and the historical links between Britain and Somaliland for all those years.
halka waxaan ku hayaa illustration fiican oo tusaya taariikhda Somaliland say u soo socotay halka ay tusayaan koobiyaal oo siin doona.
I will present to you copies of this map which illustrates the historical the historical background of the Somali Republic.
Very interesting part of this, just Mr. Ian Bacalao, who was
Mohammed Iqbal,
Prime Minister. This was the day, 5th May 1960, when agreement was made between the two sides that Somaliland should become independent on 26th June 1960. That was historical. And these are the other ministers, our Prime Minister, three ministers, there were four of them. And I was the secretary, I'm in the program somewhere, I don't know what that This is when Colonel Secretary Lennox Allen Boyle came to Somaliland in 1958, when the process of constitutional advancement was being worked out. So you see, the camp at the Somaliland Scouts, a guy of one of Somaliland Scouts, and he's taking the civil there. This is the first Legislative Council nominated in 1958 after the visit of the 26th. Then in 1960, these are the stamps, postal stamps of the British government that were used here in Somaliland. Both King George VI and Hargeisa Yimid. Now, these are the gems, the gems that are available in Somaliland, the sapphires, all these, stones, precious stones that are found in Somaliland. Here we have the first president of Somaliland after we withdrew from the Union in 1991. He was a former ambassador also. And this is who became the second vice president, who really established this republic. Then there is the president whom you saw, whom you met last night, or yesterday. So these are the three presidents we have had since 1991, since we were withdrawn from the Union. These, of course, are landmarks. These are our cattle, our camels. So it gives you a good, our banks, some of the banks, some of the sheep, it gives you a good picture. And this is Hargeisa, after it had been bought by the Xildhibaan regime from the So the aircraft was taking off from the airport here, bombing the town and then going back to the airport itself. So this is how Hargeisa was after it had been bombed. Of course now it has been built, rebuilt here. So we give you a copy of this so that you can look at it. This is where our independence started, and this is where we are today, with President Riali. So this is a brief history of now. Since we arrived here yesterday, I've heard a lot about Somaliland and its aspirations. And I don't wish to bother you again with these details. Sheikh Ibrahim has just spoken about them. Point is that for 13 years this country has been waiting for a government to establish in the south. But we have always said that we are ready to talk to them, to negotiate our withdrawal with them. Negotiate our withdrawal from them. No one to talk to. And for 30 years we've been waiting, we've been patient enough, so that they can make a government there, and we can go and talk to them and negotiate our withdrawal. So far, no government has been established there. I don't think they can make a government. So we are being penalized by being held back for those people until they are, God knows when, to form a government. I think this is very unfair. If they establish a government tomorrow, we shall negotiate our withdrawal with them. Because you see, the international community always tells us that you have to talk to the South. It's something between Somalia, okay? Whatever you agree upon, okay? We are willing to talk. We're not afraid of talking to them. But there's no one to talk to. This is a dilemma that you are faced. I can only add this to this, and we need your help, because you are a former colonial power, a very benevolent power. Hargeisa and Somaliland was the host of the Jack Union for more than 8 years. We all have our educational background came from Britain. And therefore I think Britain has a moral responsibility, at least, a moral responsibility to stand by us in this hour of need. Morally, and then to help us economically and politically also. I remember when Croatia was getting its independence from the rest of Yugoslavia, it was the German government that stood by it. It was Mr. Genscher, foreign minister of Germany, who recognized unilaterally. Germany recognized Croatia unilaterally. This was the beginning of the end of Yugoslavia. I don't know whether the government can do this. If you can do this for us, it will be a very, very good thing. Excellent. And I think everybody else will fall into place, including the countries of the European Union. What can you do that yourselves? Everything will fall into place. We need one government, one big government like this, to take the lead. To follow suit. I was also ambassador to the United Nations for Somalia, and I know the workings of the organization.